Hello everybody out there on YouTube and welcome to race number 2 of Season 7 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, aka Thrash Maniac 99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to this California 500 here at California Speedway to get set for race 2 of Season 7. Before we get started, a quick run through of the top 10 in the standings after last week at Daytona. It is Chris Washer, Alex Hawkins, Charles Sanford, Chris Michaels, David Rivera, Jeffrey Rose, Kyle Matthews, Jesse Setti, Dorian Facepuncher, PJ Williams, the top 10 in the standings, and that's the top 10 that also finished in the Daytona 500. So this should be an interesting race here to pick up steam from that Daytona 500, as we are about to get the command to fire engines here at California.
Drivers, start your engines!
And over here on the left of your screen is the starting lineup for this race. So I'm just scrolling through so that way you get the hint of who's going to be starting where. But I'm going to look at the top 10. It is Michael Norman on the pole. Second, Chase Oliver, a California track boy. One of a couple of them. Third is going to be Charles Jackson. Fourth, Matt McIntyre. Fifth, PJ Williams. Sixth, Jesse Setti. Seventh, Trent Dunham. Eighth, Seth Cole. Ninth, Dylan Poteet. 10th, Sean Galligan. That is the top 10 for this lineup. Let's see where points leader and Daytona 500 winner Chris Washer is going to be. Toward the back of the field, looks like 29th from my vantage point. So starting 29th will be Chris Washer. Daytona 500 winner and current points leader. Now keep in mind, from now on with Walmart Cup Series, the chase system is going to be the one before the current one, where it's going to be top 10 plus 2 wild cards, but with an LCQ winner. That will be happening between the regular season finale and the beginning of the chase, and that race will be held at Talladega when we get to that point. Pace car in pit road, which means it's time to go racing. Here we go! Boogity, boogity, boogity! Let's go Hollywood racing, boys and girls. Already Michael Norman off to a pretty good start. There's going to be a ton of passing going on here at this track. And already we got a battle for the lead as here comes Charles Jackson in the number 19 Comcast Toyota colors this week. Let's see what's going to happen here if Jackson's going to get to lead lap 1. Dylan Poteet, it's 3 wide for the lead with Norman, Jackson, and Poteet, but it looks like Norman, with a draft help from PJ Williams, is going to lead lap number 1. Man, look at this craziness going on. 4 wide, even almost 5 wide a couple of spots. But already great racing going on, and up here, battle for the lead again. Dylan Poteet with a run underneath of Michael Norman. And he's going to clear Norman for the top spot, so that will put Poteet to the point. Oh, and I hear some cars into the wall. Oh, and it's a huge crash. A huge crash. One car up on his side. That was Jesse Setti, who went up roof first into the outside wall. Sean Galligan, Rue McIntyre, for the second week in a row, is caught up in something. Charles Sanford. There's Jeffrey the Iceman. The Iceman Jeffrey Rose was in it. Anthony McCrory was involved. Alex Hawkins was in it. Chase Oliver, who started second, all of a sudden was in the back, and now he's damaged. Joshua Collard involved. Matt McIntyre was in it. Dorian Facepuncher, Trent Dunham got slight pieces of it. But I think they'll be okay. But man, that was a big wreck Almost similar to what happened at Daytona last week. Holy moly. Thought they were starting to pile into each other. That would have been embarrassing, but Dylan Poteet has the lead early on here at California. We're going to see if they're going to be coming in the pit road here. And it's looking like they may. Let's see, and indeed they are. They're coming in the pit road. One of potentially 2 or 3 stops here in this race. But man, that big wreck, that took out 2 out of 3 Penske cars, Galligan and Setti. Setti was the car that ended up on her side, roof first, into the outside wall. It's a good thing that she didn't go flying into it hard, like, say, like Brad Keselowski in Atlanta 2010. If that would have been the case, that could have been a whole lot worse. And Setti's car was in pit road. Now I think it teleported onto, or into the garage. A lot of shuffling going on. Some cars going with different strategies. Austin LaPlante is now going to be the leader. Second will be Jessica Villanueva. Third, Stephen Pollard the third. Fourth, Michael Norman. Fifth, Benjamin Miles. So that's going to be your top 5 when we go back green. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at California. Well, here's a look at how this wreck is going to start. Seth Cole just got sandwiched in between Trent Dunham, Dorian Facepuncher. And then Collard goes hard into the outside wall. But then we had a second wreck take place back there. We're going to see how that gets started. And it looks like as if Jeffrey Rose hooks Matt McIntyre. Let's see. No, it was Matt McIntyre hooking Jesse Setti in the McIntyre into Rose, Hawkins, Galligan, Rue McIntyre, Sanford, and McCrory. All just swarmed into that wreck. Same with Chase Oliver. But let's go up to the 22 because we need to see how that 22 ended up going on her side. Oh, there it was. And then turns. Oh, it did hit roof first into the outside wall, courtesy of Galligan. But thank goodness it wasn't a vicious hard hit. It was pretty hard, but it wasn't like impactful hard. But still, that's quite a lick to take, roof first into the outside wall. That was a wild ride for the 22 of Setti. Last season, she only had 2 DNFs, and they were in way separate portions of the season. Already here, despite finishing top 10 at Daytona, first DNF this season for the 22. But let's go ahead and take you back to the restart here at California. Well, after that first caution, we have 6 cars that are out of the race, and they are Alex Hawkins, Joshua Collard, Anthony McCrory, Jesse Setti, Jeffrey Rose, and Sean Galligan. But Austin LaPlante is the leader. Second is Jessica Villanueva. Third, Michael Norman. Fourth, Stephen Pollard the third. Fifth, Benjamin Miles. Sixth is Dylan Poteet. Seventh, Dylan Thoreau. Eighth, Preston Plord. Ninth, Tanner Sullivan. 10th is going to be Dougie Shears. 11th is David Rivera. 12th is Chris Washer. 13th, Danny Wells. 14th, Joshua Balkin. 15th, Seth Cole. 16th, Pichu London. 17th is Bob Jones. 18th, Charles Jackson. 19th is Ian Dutta. 20th, PJ Williams. 21st, Angel Navarro. 22nd, Chris Michaels. 23rd, James McLeod. 24th, James Silverfox. 25th, Zachary Fitzwater. 26th, Cody Lamas. 27th, Jessica Shelton. 28th, Kyle Corbett. 29th, Kyle Matthews. 30th, Dylan Young. 31st, Chase Oliver. 32nd, Dorian Facepuncher. 33rd, Matt McIntyre. 34th, Trent Dunham. 35th is Charles Sanford. And now Rue McIntyre has officially retired out of the race. I guess he couldn't get the car back out on track, so now he joins the other 6 being out of the race. 35 cars left in the field. Green flag is out. 23 laps to go. And ignore the damage on the Chevys, glitch. But Austin LaPlante is the leader. Excuse me. Jessica Villanueva trying to get a run on the 48. And that number 33 Honey Nut Cheerios car for Richard Childress. And right behind her is her boyfriend and teammate, Michael Norman. Right behind, so yeah, a couple of the Richard Childress cars running in the top 5, and it's a couple right there. So that's really, really special for them two. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Austin LaPlante still holding on to the lead. Now, I'm almost curious as to if he took 2 tires and gas or just gas only, because I saw Poti, I think he went with 4 tires and gas, maybe 2 tires and gas, I forget. But either way, excuse me. But either way, LaPlante is up at the front. Villanueva still in second. Now rookie Benjamin Miles coming in for third. David Rivera, Dylan Throw, 2 Roush cars coming in hot into the picture. Joshua Balkin, another Roush car trying to make his way up through. Hold on a second. It's like it feels like my throat never wants to clear, but anyways, I'm better now. Well, I thought I was, damn it. I should be alright for now. But, damn it. Now we're good to go. Anyways, 19 laps to go here at California. Austin LaPlante still leads the way. And we're in a very good green flag run here. So far, the longest green flag run we've had this whole race. Up ahead is Pichu London. I don't see damage on his car. I'm almost thinking that maybe he about spun. Maybe he spun out. I'm thinking maybe Pichu spun out, but it was towards an area where nobody was around and there was no caution. Charles Sanford, on the other hand, is slow. Bob Jones, I think it was between Bob Jones and Pichu London, because I don't see damage on their cars. I didn't see them get involved in that first caution. I'm almost thinking them two got into a spin out, but no caution was brought out. That's what I'm thinking. Let's follow Pichu London and see if there was a spot on the track where there's tire marks. Let's go to helicopter view. This will give us the best shot of if I can find tires marks. And I'm not seeing any. Maybe perhaps they did get involved. Perhaps maybe them two were involved in that wreck and they're a little bit off the pace. I'm not sure, but to my vantage point, Pichu London was up to speed. Because he's running 200 going into corners, and that's with no draft. Or they could have pitted, or they might have went into pit road and went with just fuel, so that way they didn't go a lap down, perhaps. I'm not sure, but back up here at the front of the field, it is LaPlante in the lead, but we got some cars making green flag pit stops. over here, so that's going to be a sign for more people to come in. And here comes a lot of those cars, including the leader, Austin LaPlante, now that we're at the halfway point. It looks like a few cars are staying out again. P.J. Williams stays out along with Seth Cole and Zachary Fitzwater. Everybody else is in pit road, but right now it is the 5 car, the Kellogg's car, of P.J. Williams in the lead, but now I think he's getting ready to come into pit road to complete his second pit stop of the day. And here he comes along with Seth and Zachary. So now that should be everybody to be in pit road. First one out of pit road out of the first group of cars that came in for green flag stops is Jessica Villanueva. Dylan Thoreau, though, is coming with a huge run underneath. Ian Dutta's behind that. Now, where is the 48 of LaPlante? There he is. And he has his teammate, Chris Washer, right behind him. Preston Plord actually outbeat both of them, so Preston Plord might be cycled around as the new leader. Let's keep an eye on his speed. I think he is going to be the new leader unless he's tail end of the lead lap. Let's see. Double check on that, and looks like Plord is going to be the new leader because now they're going to go by P.J. Williams and company. So Preston Plord has now got a gigantic lead over second place right now, P.J. Williams, but now Austin LaPlante and Chris Washer, 2 of P.J.'s teammates, are going to go by. So Preston Plord has a huge lead over the main pack, but I don't know if that's going to be good because remember, sometimes the draft is the main key of this race. And if you're alone up at the front with no draft partner, you can easily get caught up here in about a lap or two. And he has a little under a 3-second lead over second place Austin LaPlante, who has Dylan Thoreau behind him. Let's actually take a look and see how the field looks after those pit stops concluded. As Preston Plord is the race leader, second is Austin LaPlante, third Dylan Thoreau, fourth Kyle Corbett. Where did Corbett come from? Fifth Chris Washer, sixth Charles Jackson, seventh Ian Dutta, 8th P.J. Williams, 9th Jessica Villanueva, 10th Seth Cole, 11th David Rivera, 12th Dylan Potee, 13th Angel Navarro, 14th Tanner Sullivan, 15th Stephen Pollard III, 16th Joshua Balkin, 17th Dylan Young, 18th Zachary Fitzwater, 19th Bob Jones, 20th Danny Wells, 21st Benjamin Miles, 22nd, and wait a minute, Bob Jones coming into pit road again. Well, let's wait till we get to the line to get the updated scoring. Cody Lama's now 21st, 22nd Jessica Shelton, 23rd James Silverfox, 24th Chris Michaels, 25th Kyle Matthews, 26th Michael Norman, 27th Dougie Shears, 28th Dorian Facepuncher, 29th James McLeod, 30th Trent Dunham, 31st Chase Oliver, 32nd Matt McIntyre, 33rd somewhere is Bob Jones, and 34th somewhere Peachy London, 35th is Charles Sanford. Back up at the front, it is still Preston Plord leading, but his lead is starting to shrink. That's because of that draft from the main pack. A couple laps ago, Preston Plord was about 3 seconds ahead. Now he's 1 3/4 of a second ahead. And it's shrinking as we speak. As I was looking back now at the cars that are out, only one Tweenix car is out of the race, and that's Alex Hawkins. Everybody else from Tweenix is still on track, with the highest being Seth Cole in second, and he's starting to gain on Preston Plord for the lead. Last time by, he was about 1.8 seconds back. Now he's about 1 second back. But now Seth is going to be definitely closing in for sure. It's like I said, if you're by yourself with a big lead up at the front, depending on how much time's left as far as laps, and there's a bunch of guys in the draft, you're going to get caught at some point by those guys. And that's what we're seeing right now, because Seth Cole, with a full head of steam, has caught Preston Plord for the lead. Now he wants to get down low so he can make the pass, and here he comes. Seth Cole in the Last of Us Ford, or Chevy, I think it's the Last of Us, I'm not sure. Some kind of game. Or no, I think it's Evil Within, I think is what the game is. But Seth Cole up in the lead right now. Preston Plord now starting to slip. Couple Gibbs teammates starting to make their way up through. Charles Jackson, Angel Navarro in the 19 and the 20. Charles in the Comcast car. Angel Navarro in the Home Depot car. But I think final pit stops are starting to happen. I saw Ian Dutta pull out in the pit road. And a bunch of others are coming in too. Kyle Corbett, Tanner Sullivan, Jessica Villanueva, so many others. But a lot of them stay out an extra lap. But right now, Seth Cole hanging in strong with that lead over second place, Charles Jackson. But I think these guys are going to come in pit road now. Let's see. Some came in, some stayed out. Preston Plord, the first one out of that group. Seth Cole staying out along with PJ Williams and Zachary Fitzwater. As I'm looking around for anybody else that may have decided to stay out. And I think it's just those three. Seth, PJ, and Zachary. The only ones to stay out right now. But they're going to be coming into pit road pretty soon. I think in this time, as it's less than 5 to go. And now here comes Seth Cole in the pit road, and PJ Williams, and Zachary Fitzwater. As we stay on the lookout for anybody that may potentially get the lead. We're going to stay with Seth Cole because he was the leader coming in. But again, another one of those fuel mileage races where they're all having to pit toward the end, but at least for this race, instead of how it went last week, everybody's going to be good to go on fuel for the rest of the way instead of trying to risk it. And Seth Cole going with 2 tires and gas. Same for Zachary Fitzwater, and same for PJ Williams. There's Preston Plord, who's leading the main pack of cars that are a little bit further back. But we'll see if Seth Cole's going to be able to keep the lead. It's going to be very, very close. Because here comes Plord, Jackson, Dutta, all coming into the picture. Keeping an eye on the speed of the 52 compared to these other guys. Seth running about 5 miles per hour slower, but he's going to be cycled around as the leader still. And it's going to be 3 laps to go here in California. 3 to go, but now the rest of the pack, some of them in the pack have caught Seth Cole. Charles Jackson, Preston Plord, and Ian Dutta have caught Seth Cole. And now here comes Jackson with the run down low. And according to scoring, Chris Washer was last scored 10th. So Washer having a great race to follow up his win at Daytona. Last time, still in 10th. So great run for Chris Washer to keep up his momentum. But anyways, 2 laps to go, less than 2 to go, and Charles Jackson is the race leader. But he still has quite a bit of ways left because anybody in this top 4 still has a chance at winning this race. Preston Plord making a run on the 19 as we are coming to the white flag. White flag is out here at California. Last chance for Plord, Cole, or Dutta to make something happen. But right now the closest one is going to be Plord. But he's going to have to go low here going into 3 if he's going to have a chance. Because right now Jackson's in the hot seat with that lead. I don't think anybody's going to be able to get by him. Coming out of turn 4 for the last time, coming through the front stretch, Charles Jackson is going to win the California 500 at California Speedway. What a job by Charles Jackson. Gets his first win of the season, and I think that's his 3rd of his career. Great job for Jackson. That's going to definitely boost him up in the point standings for sure going into Las Vegas next week. But let's take a look at the rest of the results as Charles Jackson wins the California 500 here at California Speedway. Great job for the 19 car for Joe Gibbs. Preston Plord thought he had some at the end for the 19, but just couldn't quite get it done. But he's going to come away with a 2nd place finish. Seth Cole with a great run in 3rd. Ian Dutta solid 4th. So 2 of the Tweenix cars finished top 5. And the highest of the rookies, rookie Kyle Corbett, in the 5th spot. Tanner Sullivan with a great run in the 6th position. PJ Williams, solid 7th place finish. Angel Navarro with a great run in 8th. Jessica Villanueva with a solid run in 9th. And points leader and Daytona 500 winner, Chris Washer, rounding out the top 10. Rest of the top 20, Benjamin Miles, Zachary Fitzwater, Stephen Pollard III, Austin LaPlante, Dylan Thoreau, Dylan Poteet, Chris Michaels, Danny Wells, Kyle Matthews, Jessica Shelton. Rest of the top 30, Joshua Balkin, Michael Norman, James Silverfox, Cody Lamas, Dougie Shears, Dylan Young, Dorian Facepuncher, David Rivera, James McLeod, Bob Jones, and the rest of the cars I finished on the lead lap were Trent Dunham, Chase Oliver, Matt McIntyre, Pichu London. 1 car finishing a lap down, Charles Sanford. And everybody else was out of the race after the 1 caution we had early on. Rue McIntyre, Alex Hawkins, Joshua Collard, Anthony McCreary, Jesse Setti, Jeffrey Rose, and Sean Galligan. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the California 500. We head next week for the Shelby 427 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and that should be an exciting race right there. But until then, here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Las Vegas. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.